Wisconsin Broadcasters Association Hall of Famer Bob Baird ruled Milwaukee's airwaves in the 60s and 70s. He spoke with countless musicians and celebrities over the years. Bob collected remarkable recordings of these encounters, which he's now sharing with the public. Here's Bob.
This guy has done it all. Actor, filmmaker, businessman, and he's even been involved with politics. But Arnold Schwarzenegger is best known as bodybuilder and action movie actor. He was Mr. Universe and Mr. Olympia 7 times. His on-screen appearances included Conan the Barbarian, Total Recall, Predator, Twins, and Running Man. Terminator 2: Judgment Day was the highest-grossing film of 1991.
I'll be back.
Arnold was governor of California from 2003 to 2011. In this podcast, we'll talk about bodybuilding, drugs, and a most unusual experience.
You all know that Arnold Schwarzenegger is the bodybuilding champion, and one of the most interesting pictures I've seen of him in a long time was one that was in full color in Newsweek magazine, where he was pictured behind Dolly Parton. Now, that was taken by Rolling Stone. Is that right, Arnold?
Yeah, Amy Leibovitz took those with Rolling Stone, and I had the best time taking this picture, I tell you that. It was the first time somebody had made tough competition for me with my chest.
That's right. About how much did she weigh, do you think?
I don't know. She's not a big girl. I mean, she just has a very big bust, and she just is really well developed. But she has a great body, and she's, of course, a beautiful girl, and with a great, great personality, and she's our top country singer. So, I mean, I was really happy posing with her.
Dolly have to say about your physique?
Oh, she really enjoyed the whole thing, and she, of course, asked me a lot of questions regarding exercises and so on, and she was, of course, also an impression that, women should not train with weights because they get muscles, and I set her straight and explained to her, that it's very important for women to train with weights because they can firm up the body and get more shapely and so on, and women do not get muscular because they do not have the male hormones, which is the testosterone, and therefore they can get muscular. So she felt good about that, and she went right away to the gym the next day and started working out.
How much weight should a woman press? There must be a limit, right?
Well, there's really no limit or anything. It depends really how strong a woman is. But, the main thing in shaping a body is really, for men or women, is not really how much you press or so on. It's just that you know which exercises to do for which part of the body in order to reshape your body if you're dissatisfied with it. And, most of the people who are working out with weights are doing it just for fitness and for health, and maybe also for the cosmetic reasons, because it does change the shape of your body, and you look much healthier and stronger and get a good athletic build. And for women, of course, much more shapelier.
Arnold, what happens when you get older now? I'm talking about, 60s, 70s. Does all this turn to flab, or what happens?
A lot of people ask me that, and, muscles do not turn to flab. I mean, the great thing about it is that what you have gained through hard training or through any kind of a training, it always will stay with you, and it doesn't turn to fat. It's of course, it's true that you will shrink a certain percentage, or the size of your muscles will shrink a certain percentage, because when you get 60 or 70 years of age, you cannot weigh 240 or 220 pounds, because it wouldn't even be healthy. The older you get, the less you should weigh.
I do think you destroyed one myth about getting 8 hours of sleep. You never get 8 hours of sleep, right?
Very seldom, really very seldom, because it's not necessary, I mean, a lot of people sleep their lives away, and it has nothing to do with health. You sleep a lot, I mean, sometimes you can oversleep and you get lazy then.
How many hours sleep do you usually get?
Well, I got today around 5.5 only, but usually I get around 6 or so. 6 or 7 hours. Sometimes only 1 hour. It depends who I spend the night with. The important thing is that you get enough sleep that you wake up and you feel alright, but you don't have to really sleep until you wake up by yourself. I mean, just on your own. So, I always just try to get out 6 or 7 hours, which is as much as I ever want.
All right. What about those that smoke dope and take alcohol?
Well, it depends to what, excess you smoke dope and drink alcohol and so on. I mean, I was never that much against smoking dope because I found out it doesn't really do any harm to you if you smoke once a week or once a month or so. But of course, those who are smoking every day or making it as a habit and smoke as many times as they eat, of course, it's damaging. And any kind of a drug or anything like that is damaging if you take it in overdose. It's the first food, I mean, So, in alcohol, again, it's not that bad if you just do it in moderation. If you drink and get drunk every night, it's again bad, But you don't have to live like a health freak, I mean, it's one of the things you don't have to do. And that's why I'm a strong believer again in weight training or in a systematic resistance training, because you don't have to be on those strict diets and live it, because you sweat out all the bad things and the poison, and you burn off calories and carbohydrates when you train, so you don't have to really stay off the carbohydrates all the time, So that's the advantages of weight training.
Well, now, one more thing, some strange things have happened to you when you've made some appearances, and I'm thinking of that one in Dearborn, Michigan that got so much publicity.
Right, yes. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about, promoting something when you travel around, because every so often something strange is happening that you don't expect. And one of the things, of course, that happened was, when I did my book signing session up here in Michigan, that this girl asked me to take my shirt off, and, I, of course, cocky as I am, returned and said, you take yours off, I take mine off, type of a thing, and she said, oh, that's no problem, and she started getting naked in front of me, in front of 500 other people. So, I was put on a spot. So things like that do happen.
Boy, that had to be a little embarrassing for the department store manager, I suppose, huh?
It definitely was. He came to me and said, you definitely attract the weirdest people.
Arnold, it was nice talking to you. Continued success.
Thank you very much.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Bob Berry. Thank you for listening to Bob Berry's Unearthed Interviews. Be sure to subscribe and rate our podcast on iTunes or wherever you find your podcasts. You can find all the episodes at WisconsinBroadcastingMuseum.org. Check out Bob Berry's book, Rock and Roll Radio Milwaukee. Book sale proceeds support Angels Kids Fund and Donate Life Wisconsin. The preceding program was made possible by a generous contribution from Terry Bond.